Hello all. In this lecture we will see about entities and attributes. So this is the outline of this lecture. We will see what do you mean by these entities, and also we will see attributes, what do you mean by this attribute, and also we will see the different types of attributes. So, so in the previous lecture we have seen the database design process. So the first process for this database design is to gather the data requirements. After that, what you have to do is we have to we have to represent it in a high level conceptual data model. So we have gathered the database requirements. So in the previous lecture we have defined that requirements, company database requirements, and from that company database requirements, next step is to draw the entity relationship diagram. So for drawing that entity relationship diagram, we have to learn what is the CR model. So what are the entities, what are the attributes, what are the relationships. So all these things have to be learned. So in this lecture, we will learn about entities, attributes, and the different types of attributes. So first we will see an entity. So entity is a basic concept that will be used in this AR model. So entity, it is a thing or object in the real world with an independent existence. So it is a thing or object in the real world. So it can be anything. So it can be an object with a physical existence, like a particular person, Thomas, Dr. Thomas. So he is a person, or a particular car, Maruti Swift Desire car. So that is a particular object. It is with a physical existence, or a particular house, or a particular employee. So all these are objects. So this it can be an object with a physical existence, or it can be an object with a conceptual existence. Example, a company. It's a conceptual existence. There is no physical company at all. Or a job, a particular job, a teacher, a teaching job. It is a uh, conceptual existence. It is an object with conceptual existence, or a university. It is also a conceptual existence. There is no physical thing. We cannot see a university kind of thing. So these are all considered to be entities. So it is a thing or object in the real world. So all these will be considered as entities. So you have to note that it is a particular person, or a particular car, a particular house, or a particular employee. All this will form the entity, because we will be learning about entity type, and also we'll be learning about entity set in the later lectures. So you have to understand what is this entity. So entity, it is a particular car. If you see a Maruti Alto car, it is a particular entity. A particular Alto car is an entity. Okay. Or if you take a company like TCS is a company. So it is a TCS is an entity. Next thing is attributes. So each entity will have some attributes. So each entity will have some attribute. For example, so attributes represent particular properties that describe an entity. For example, if you take a person, or if you take an employee, that employee will have different properties. Like he will have a name, he will have an age, then address will be there, he will have a salary, then he will have a particular job. Like that, there will be different attributes for that, or different properties that describe that entity. So all those particular properties that describe an entity are known as attributes. So so for example, employee entity will have name, age, address, salary, and job. So all these may describe the particular person. So employee, a particular employee. For example, if you take John Smith, I'll show an example. And also a specific entity will have a value for each of its attributes. So if you take a particular entity, employee, there will be different entities. Employee entity, there will be several employees. So if you take John Smith, like that, Thomas, like that, there will be several entities. So each entity, for each person, there will be a particular name, age, address, everything will be there. So that's what we have written. A specific entity will have a value for each of its attributes, and each attribute has a value set or data type associated with it. For example, name should be a string, or a phone number should be integers. So there can be different data types. So each attribute will take some values from a value set or data type, or we can call it as domain also. So each attribute has a value set or data type associated with it. So if you consider age should be a digit, a two digit maybe. So this is an example. This is a particular entity. So this is an even entity. We call it as entity of John Smith. So for that name, it's John Smith. Then address is there. Then there is a value for age. Then there is a value for home phone also. So this is a particular entity. So this is John Smith entity. Then if we take another company, this is a company entity. This is an example for company entity. This is an example for employee entity. This is for company. So for company, there will be attributes like name. We have given some name. Then headquarters will be there. Then there will be a president for that company. Like that, there will be different attributes for that particular company. So this is an employee entity. This is a company entity. Then next we will see the types of attributes. There are different types of attributes. So first classification is based on simple versus composite attributes. So simple or atomic attributes. So simple attribute means attributes that are not divisible. So attributes which cannot be divided further, we call it as simple or atomic attributes. So example, social security number. So actually social security number is like our Aadhaar number. In India we call it as Aadhaar number. So it is a unique number. We cannot divide that number. So that now for a particular person that there will be a 16 digit or 12 digit number will be there. Similarly in US and all there is a social security number. It cannot be divided further. Or sex of a person, male or female, it cannot be again divided into two or three. So only a particular value will be there for a particular person. Then there is a second type of attribute, we call it as composite attribute. So composite attributes can be divided into smaller subparts. Smaller. So example, address. Address is a composite attribute because address can be further split into street address, city, state, and zip. And street address can again be further split into number, street, apartment, like that. We can again split. So address can be considered as a composite attributes. Again, name can also be considered as a composite attribute because name can be further divided into first name, middle name, and last name. So these attributes are known as composite attributes. It can form a hierarchy like this. So here we have one type of division. Again, street address can further be split again like this. So this forms a hierarchy. So value of a composite attribute is a concatenation of the values of its component simple attributes. So all these are known as simple attributes. So value of the composite attribute is actually the combination of all these attributes. So this is the first difference, first type of attribute. Simple, we can classify it as simple and composite attributes. So simple attributes are not divisible. So if we consider city, it is a simple attribute or atomic attribute. We cannot further split that city or state or zip code or the pin code. We call it as pin code. This cannot be further split. Then second type of classification is single valued versus multi-valued attributes. Single valued attributes means attributes have a single value for a particular entity. So if the attributes have a single value for a particular entity, then if that particular attribute has a single value for a particular entity, then it is known as single valued attribute. Example, age. Age of a person, we have only a single value. We can say 40 years or 25 years, like that. We can say we can have only a single value. Or sex of a person. Either we will say it is male, female, or third gender, like that. We will be giving a particular value. A person cannot have male and female, both values cannot be given to a person. So, or age, we cannot have multiple values for a particular person. So then it is known as single valued attribute. Then we can have multi-valued attributes. So these attributes have set of values for the same entity. For example, colors attribute for a car. So if you see some dual tone car and all, there will be two colors in that car, maybe black and white in that same car, or red and blue. Like that, there will be several combinations. So colors of attribute for a car is an example for multi-value attribute, or college degrees attribute for a person. A particular person may have several degrees. Maybe he will be M.Tech, PhD, or he may be something MA. There will be several MAs for a particular person, MScs for a particular person. There will be, he might be used having MS degree, like that. Several degrees will be there. So college degrees attributes can have several values. So this attribute, college degrees, is an attribute. So that can be several. We can have multiple values for that attribute for a particular person, and it may have lower and upper bounds to constrain the number of values allowed for each entity. We can restrict, so we can have lower and upper values for a particular value. For example, color attributes for a car, we can fix at 2. So maximum it can, every car can have only at most 2 cars. Like that, we can fix lower and upper bounds to constrain the number of values allowed. Or another example is, in the previous company database, we have seen that a department will have several locations. So for a particular department, there will be several locations. So it is a locations is a multi-valued attribute in the case of a company. Or projects also. Maybe project will be located in several locations. So project locations will be several. Like that, all these will be considered as multi-valued attributes. So this is a second classification, single valued versus multi-valued. Then the third type of classification is stored versus derived attributes. Uh, then if you consider attributes, two or more attribute values may be related. For example, age and birth date attributes of a person are related. So from the birth date and from the current date, we can calculate the age of a person. So we need not store both the things. We need to store only the birth date of a person. So from the birth date, if you want to calculate the age, it is easy. You have to subtract current date from the birth date, you will get the age of a person. So in certain cases, two or more attribute values may be related. So age attribute here, it is known as a derived attribute because it can be derived from birth date. And birth date attribute is called the stored attribute. Okay, so from birth date, we can derive the age value by subtracting the current date. So we call it as stored derived attribute. So age is derived and birth date is stored attribute. Then attribute values can be derived from related entities. So if two entities are related, from those related entities also we can derive attributes. For example, number of employees of a department entity can be derived by counting the number of employees working for that department. So we will not be storing the number of employees data in the department table. We will not be storing that. By counting the employee details from the employee entity and department entity are related. So a particular employee will be working on in a particular department. So based on that, we will simply calculate the number of employees in that department field. So if we get it as 10, then that means for the CS department there are 10 employees, like that. So number of employees will be considered as a derived attribute which can be derived from the employee and department relationship. Then another topic that is to be learned is about null values. Entity may not have, in certain cases, there will be giving null values to attributes. So for attributes, there can be null values. So there are several cases for which this can happen. So first case is entity may not have an applicable value for an attribute. He may not have an applicable value for an attribute. For example, apartment number for an attribute of an address. So apartment number occurs only if he is staying in a particular apartment building. If he is staying in an individual house, he may not have this apartment number attribute. So we will give it as a null value. So that attribute is not applicable for a person who is living in an individual house. So this apartment number is applicable only to a person who is living in an apartment or a flat. You call it as flat and all. So college degrees attribute of a person. A person may not have any college degrees. He may not have gone to any colleges. Then college degrees will be given a null value. So it is not applicable for that person. Then we call it as we will give a special value called null will be given to such kind of things. Then again, in some other cases, null can also be used if we do not know the value of an attribute for a particular entity. So it may that value might exist, but we may not be aware of that value. So for that also we can give a null value. For example, if we do not know the home phone number of a particular employee, John Smith, we have an employee and his home phone number is not available, then we can simply give a null value. It may be available, but we are not aware of that number. Then we can give a null value for that particular attribute. Then null is also used when it is known that the attribute value exists but is missing also. If it is missing also, we can give null value. For example, height attribute of a person. It is available. Every person will have a height. But if it is not available, then we can give null values also. So there are three cases where we can give null values. One is when it is not applicable, or we do not know that value, or it exists, value exists but is missing. So in all these cases we can give null values for a particular attribute. The next type of attribute is complex attributes. So composite and multi-valued attributes can be nested attribute arbitrarily. So we have already seen what is a composite attribute, and also we have seen multi-valued attributes also. So this can be nested to any levels. So for example, we will see an example, then you will understand. So before that, we will see how to represent a composite attribute, complex attribute. So components of a composite attribute are given between parentheses and separated using components. So we have already seen what is a composite attribute. For example, address is a composite attribute because it contains many symbol attributes. So for apartment number will be there, city will be there, pin code will be there. All these are the components of a composite attribute. So it will be enclosed in parentheses separated by commas. Separating components will be separated. Components will be separated using commas. Then multi-valued attributes we will be using braces separated by commas. So multi-valued we have already seen locations. So if we have several locations for a particular thing, maybe Mumbai, then Delhi, like that, there will be several locations. We will be representing inside braces separated by commas. So this composite and multi-valued, if we are giving into a nested kind of thing, if there is nesting inside this composite and multi-valued attribute, then those attributes are known as complex attributes. So this is an example. Address phone. So if a person have uh, different houses, different addresses, and different phone numbers, that is possible. So a person may have, an employee may have two addresses. One may be permanent and one may be another temporary address. Like that, there will be different address and phone numbers for a particular person. So that address phone attribute can be represented like this. So address phone is a complex attribute. So address phone of a particular person is a complex attribute. So we can have more than one residence, and each residence can have a single address and multiple phone numbers. For that is what is represented here. So address phone. So this is represented inside braces. So inside braces means he can have several values for that. There may be two or three houses for that person. So this is altogether represented in braces. Then inside that address phone, for a particular address phone itself, in the particular address he may have several phone numbers also. That is why again it is represented in a phone number inside braces. Maybe two phones will be available in a particular house. So that is why again it is represented inside braces. Then it is a composite attribute. That is why it is given in parentheses. There are several components for that address for this is One is phone and then it is address. So we are storing the phone number details and also the address details of a particular person. And for the phone itself is a composite attribute because it has an area code and a phone number also, like 0484, then some number will be there. So area code will, first four digits will be the area code and the next six digits will be the phone number, like that. Then for address, we have already seen it is a composite attribute. So it is represented inside uh, parenthesis. So inside parenthesis, we will have street address, and street address itself is a composite attribute. We have already seen. So it will be, there will be number, street, apartment number will be there, and that is why it is given like that. So there are different nestings inside this. So that is why it is known as complex attribute. So it is actually it is a composition of composite plus multi-valued attribute. So address phone, if we want to represent, if we have an attribute address phone of a particular person, so address phone can be several because he may have two residences. So there will be two address phones. And inside one address itself, we will be having several phone numbers. So that is why phone number itself, it is represented inside braces. Okay. So this is known as complex attributes. So such kind of attributes can also occur. We will not be dealing with this complex attributes. We will be splitting it into simple attributes when we store in database and all. So you have to learn what is a complex attribute. So it is actually a combination of composite and multi-valued attribute. So an example is address phone. A person can have several residences. So we will have several addresses and several phone numbers. So if you want to store a particular address phone of a person, it should be represented as a complex attribute. So that's all about different types of attributes. This is a reference. Thank you.